Okay, Chris, is triathlon a difficult sport?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. You know, all sports are difficult depending on the level you play, but I think primarily it's a super challenge, and it's as difficult as you want to make it. But yeah, I'd say it's a difficult sport.
What is your secret for this difficult sport?
I'm enjoying it. I think you know, I've been racing triathlon for 20 years, and people ask me how have I stayed so active, because I love it. I think you know, setting yourself new challenges, setting yourself new goals, being open to change has always been a secret. Being able to evolve and change your way of thinking and your planning throughout a season is key. Many people get stuck in a must do it this way, and that makes change very difficult. So just being open to change and you know, versatile.
So your strength is not swimming, biking or running, but it's having fun?
Yeah, I think that sounds too easy. I think my strength is my mind, I guess, and not so much like, you know, I'm not the psychology of the sport. I think my strength is my ability to make changes on the move and make changes on the run, and be versatile in my training approaches and philosophies, and realise that and bank that I have a lot of experience now. I've been doing the sport for a very, very long time, and winning races isn't not necessarily about who trains the hardest or who trains the most. It can sometimes be who's the smartest.
Yeah. What are you doing when you're not training?
Usually spending time with my family, because you know, I have two beautiful girls now, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I'm away a lot racing. We moved back home to Australia. When they were much younger, we travelled together as a family, but when school starts, those things change, so I like to take my time when I'm not training. It's all about them.
You've been moving around a bit, so why this step now, going back to Australia?
Because I have a family. In a perfect world, you know, they would be with me, and I'd be based out of Europe like I was my whole career, and based out of the States. But you know, when you decide to have children, you know, your selfish ways have to make move for them, I guess. And we made the decision as a family that the best place for them to be was in Australia, and I had to be like a businessman, I guess, and commute back and forward to my work. And I think that's a strength of mine, my versatility, my ability to do that. Some people couldn't do that. You know, having a family has retired many triathletes, many athletes, and I think it's given me more strength than anything.
What do you like about TriStar?
I just think you know, you guys have been you've been involved in the sport for a very, very long time, running events, and you've got a great product. And I think I'm a fan of triathlon as a sport, and you know, I think triathletes can get very, very caught up in this. It's not the way we know it, you know, and I tell people I was around in '94 when drafting came into the sport, and I see the same talk with the new TriStar series as I saw back then. This isn't triathlon, it's not right, it's different. And different doesn't necessarily mean wrong. Different just means there's a new product available, and it's going to bring in different people to the sport. And I think it's a positive for triathlon. If you love the sport of triathlon, then you should love all facets of multi-sport racing, and that's what I love about TriStar. It's a new product on the shelf. Why not give it a go?
What is the part that you don't like about TriStar?
Don't I like about TriStar? You're bringing too many fast guys to the sport that I have to race. So you know, I think that the difficulty of the distances, and it's not. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but it's something I've had to learn to adapt to now. You know, your body gets used to racing Olympic distance racing, or half Ironman racing, or Ironman racing in a certain structure or ratio of distances, and now you guys have come along and thrown a spanner in the works and made it a very unique distance of racing, which is hard to work out. It takes time to adjust, you know, to work out how to attack that event. I went to Worms the first round of TriStar this year, and I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, you know, a 10-kilometre run, a 1K swim with a 100-kilometre bike ride, easy, and I found it very, very difficult. And just because you can't make any errors on that bike ride in a half Ironman, you can let some time go and make it up on the run. But with such a short run, you have to be very, very aggressive on the bike. The swim is very, very fast. You don't settle. The heart rate's high immediately, so it was very difficult. And I think you know, you ask me what I don't or do like. I wish it was a little easier.
What would be your pre-race sentence to inspire?
Have fun. Triathletes tend to have this this perception around the world. I know my friends who aren't triathletes see us as very, very serious type A personality people, you know, and we're never smiling, very in the box. Yeah, and I always say to people, man, smile, you know, have fun. It's a lifestyle sport. Remember how lucky you are to be doing it, to be able to move and to be able to participate in this. So enjoy the whole experience, enjoy the people, enjoy the feeling of swimming and getting up and running, and then just enjoy being active, because one day you might be able to do that.
Talking about injuries, maybe, how do you stay injury free?
I think I've never had an injury, touch wood, in my entire career, because I think you know, a lot of people in my career have called me fluffy in my approach to training and my approach to racing, and I've never seen myself as fluffy at all. I've seen myself as actually a lot smarter than these guys who have this strict regime of training. I think that is ridiculous. The human body is not a robot. It's evolving every day. It changes. It has feelings. And you know, you can't plan specifically and strictly for the human body, and I think that's why many people break down and get injured. And I think the proof's in the pudding. I've never had an injury because I'm listening all the time. I'm making adjustments, and I'm quite versatile. And that's the message I think I try and tell people who come to me for advice with training or nutrition or these things, is this ability to be versatile and change on the run. And people see that as fluffy, mate. You know, I think people try and quantify things all the time when we do a sport. When the human body can't be quantified, you know, there's obviously rules to the game of training an athlete, but you know, you need to be versatile. You need to be open to change and open to listening to your body and making those fine adjustments to your training program, fine adjustments to your recovery, and trusting that, not freaking out because you haven't met some target mileage for the week, you know. And I think that's the key.
If there was one single dish you would have for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Chocolate, without question. I am a chocolate addict, and yeah, it's been a problem of mine my whole life, and as I've got older, it tends to go straight to the hips, as my wife says, a second on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, because I love my chocolate. I could eat it forever. Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. And it says, is Hawaii Ironman still the quest for the Holy Grail?
You know, I get asked this question a lot in years past when I hadn't won the race. It always sounded like sour grapes. But now as a winner of Hawaii and a guy who's had top five finishes and been relatively successful at that event, no, it's not the Holy Grail of our sport. I think triathlon it's grown up, man. It's not an American-based sport anymore. Hawaii, okay, Hawaii is one of the jewels of a crown, but when you look at a crown on a king, there's more than one single jewel, and I think you know, triathlon needs to understand that. You know, if you look at tennis, there's more than Wimbledon, and we have other beautiful races around the world, other amazing events that need support and have a great history, and I think winning a lot of those events I've won, I cherish as much as I cherish Hawaii. Sure, Hawaii it's special, but I've won Challenge Roth, which I rank just as precious as my Hawaii win, because you know, the greats of the past race there as well. I think history gives an event mystique. History gives an event its feel, and there's a lot of races that have been around a long time, and I've always chased those titles and hold them all in high esteem. My ITU world title